Hi, I'm Bradley Guerrero-Neri, and welcome to a Moveable Feast. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at sanitation. You may not think that kitchen sanitation is important to creating a recipe, but I assure you it is. There's a reason why it's the second chapter in my textbook. So first off, one good rule of thumb I want you to try to follow. When you're going through your kitchen, when you're looking at anything, when it comes to your food, if it doesn't look good, when in doubt, throw it out. If it smells bad, feels bad, looks bad, get rid of it. It's not worth trying to save. Just do better keeping it fresher next time. Okay? Bacteria is a big problem that grows in kitchens that you need to be concerned about. That is a misstep that I know that I made before I became a chef myself. There's 4 kinds of bacteria: harmless, beneficial, undesirable, and disease-causing, also known as pathogens. Okay? Harmless bacteria, it's really like most bacteria. We won't really get into that. There's really not much to know. But there is beneficial bacteria, and that's the type of bacteria you might find in your digestive tract that helps you break down foods. That's also the type of bacteria you might see in the pasteurization of cheese, yogurt, sauerkraut. The third type of bacteria is undesirable bacteria. Now this may or may not cause the undesirable bacteria, but it's certainly a precursor. Undesirable bacteria has a calling card. It comes in form of odor, a feel, it might be slimy or sticky, or it might come in discoloration. Now the fourth type of bacteria is what we call our disease-causing or pathogens. These are different from undesirable bacteria because, well, first off, they're disease-causing, and secondly, they don't come with a calling card of the odor. They are odorless, they are tasteless, and the really only way you can control on your end of this type of bacteria is proper food handling, storage, and distribution. There are 3 ways to control bacteria. Keep it from spreading. That means if you know you have it, out, get rid of it. If you see a strawberry in your strawberry container, throw that strawberry out, or tomato in a package. Keep it from growing. If it's in the refrigerator and you see it on a Monday and you think you'll just leave it there till Wednesday on trash day, don't. Get rid of it right then. And the third way to control bacteria is to kill bacteria. And one way I do it, and I'll be quick about this, is with bleach. Bleach is a great product to use in the kitchen. Use it modestly and subtly. I keep mine in a little honey container like this size. If I'm hand washing dishes after I put in my soap, maybe it's a little bit of drip of this. This will help sanitize your dishes. Wash your hands thoroughly afterwards so you don't have that linger, because it will cause a smell if you use too much, and it will dry and crack your hands. So be careful on that, okay? Food danger zone. 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. If your food is 40 degrees Fahrenheit and under, it should be in the fridge. If your food is 140 degrees or higher, that means you've had it cooked. Anywhere in between this temperature, your food is in danger of becoming a host to all these different types of bacteria. So that is where you have to be really conscious about what you're doing. It's at that time that you have to decide, what am I going to cook at this very moment? You have to be careful what you pull out of your refrigerator and how long you leave it out. Okay, now food, how you store your food. That's what I want to talk to you about next. And there are 4 different types of ways to store your food. There's dry storage, there's freezer storage, refrigerator storage, and hot food holding type of storage. And that's usually for institutional type of cooking. But if you decide to have a banquet or like a buffet type style party and you're keeping food warm, this will apply to you too. So listen up. Okay? Let's see. Dry food storage. This is what you need to remember for dry food storage. It's real simple. Store it in a cool, dry place. Make sure the container is tight. You know, not a lot of math here. But I do say that whenever you do have dry storage, whether it be your canned goods, dry goods, put them in order of date. Freezer storage. Everything in a freezer should be kept at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Everything that you have in your freezer should be tightly wrapped. When I freeze things, I will sometimes double bag them. And I get a good freezer bag. The next thing you do is you label and date your food. So as you see here, this little white spot, that's what that's for. I mean, I don't know if you know that or not, but that's what you do. You put whatever the food is, because, you know, remember, sometimes food isn't exactly recognizable in the freezer. So you might want to put whether it's a ham or a lamb or fish, so you know what it is, and the date. Just real simple to do. Another thing I wanted to show you, for refrigerator use, vegetables. This hefty vegetable storage container, I just want to say it keeps your vegetables longer than I have had in a long time. It's a great product. I'd suggest it. Dry storage, freezer storage, thawing out your meat. This is another thing I want to talk to you about. There's 3 ways to thaw meat. You can do it in a refrigerator, underwater, and in a microwave. Using the refrigerator type of thawing is really the preferred way. And the way you do that is you pull that meat out 1 to 2 nights before you're about to use it. 2 nights you know you're going to be safe. 1 night you may not be safe. You might have a little frozen part in the middle. You don't want that. So maybe 2 nights that you might, before you're about to use the meat, should you pull it out. Now, if you did not have that type of luck that day, you can always run your meat under running water. This keeps the meat at a certain temperature, and it keeps the bacteria from forming on it. I don't like doing this because sometimes it makes meat taste funny. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of been marinating in water. Even if you have it covered sometimes, you can't help with that water to get in there. I don't like that taste. And another way to thaw your meat is obviously microwaving. And there are some people who can microwave thaw really good. I am not one of those people. I don't even try. If you're not one of those people, don't do it. And if you want to be one of those people, learn how to do it right, because you can actually really damage the food in those microwaves. Okay, now on to refrigerator storage. 1, don't overcrowd your refrigerator. 2, keep your refrigerator at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. 40 degrees Fahrenheit is just the highest temperature it can be. It can be lower. Remember, there are sub-zero refrigerators. And keep your refrigerator door shut. You wouldn't believe that was such a good reminder for me to relearn, because so many times when I'm cooking, I'll think to leave that refrigerator door open because I know I'm going to be in there real quick, in and out, but still, shut the door. Keep your refrigerator at a proper temperature. Continue with the refrigerator. Keep the refrigerator shelves and interior clean. Just do it. 5, store raw food separately from cooked food. If you're gonna thaw food, put your thawing food like on the bottom shelf and your cooked food, like leftovers and stuff, on the top shelf. Keep them really separated. You don't want any of those juices, and you know the juices I'm talking about, to fall on anything you might have in your refrigerator. So it's the bottom shelf you always want to keep your thawing foods at. Okay. Now, hot food handling. 1, you keep your food above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And 2, you keep the food covered. If you don't have one of these, can you see it? Get one. It's a thermometer. They're not very expensive. You can get them expensive, and you can get them cheap. I would say if you don't have one, start off at the middle of the road. price. The reason I like mine is that because every different meat has different holding times: ham, lamb, fish, chicken, beef, all of it. And right here it tells me the cooked ham 140 degrees, 160 degrees for other meats, 165 for poultry, 170 for veal, and I should actually know all those, but hey, sometimes you forget. Another thing, okay, we're running close out of time. Another thing, when you're dealing with food, when you're going to put food away, put it away cold. Don't take a soup or a stock you've made in a 10-quart pot and stick it in the fridge and expect it to cool down properly. First thing it's going to do is it's going to raise the temperature of your refrigerator. It's going to make your refrigerator work harder. Secondly, it's going to spoil the food you've worked so hard to create. How do you handle this situation? It's simple. Take your kitchen sink, empty it out. Put some ice in there. Maybe just go get a bag of dollar ice. It's not hard. Take your 10-quart stock pot and take that stock or soup or whatever you have that you want to cool down. Put it into 2 separate containers. Put those 2 separate containers in the sink with the ice and let it cool down. And then from there, put it in its proper storage containers and then in the fridge. Pretty easy, I know. The last thing I'm going to talk about real quick, and we're almost done, I promise, and you guys have been great listening to a whole 15 minutes of sanitation talk, but it's so important. Cleaning and sanitizing. Oh, I have some food handling tips I want to share with you. Sorry. These I thought were really great food handling tips, and I'll just read them off to you. 1, always start off with clean, fresh food, as fresh as you can. 2, handle foods as little as possible. If you're placing chicken into the frying pan, don't use your fingers. Use a tong. Use a spatula whenever you can. Always use clean equipment. It should go without saying, but try to. After you do everything, after you cut vegetables, wipe your counter down before you cut your meat. It just keeps everything, it helps to prevent diseases from spreading. Clean as you go. Really, once you finish using that pot, just rinse it out real quick. Wash it up and put it to the side. It will make the end of your project towards the evening a lot easier when you don't have a lot of pans piling up behind you. So do that. Wash all your fruits and vegetables. Only pull out, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. Only pull out of your refrigerator what you can use at an hour of a time. At a time. If you have a recipe that calls for several ingredients, and you may not use, like in baking, some of the other ingredients until after the pie or the cake or whatever your baking is done, the ingredients that you use to follow the baking process, keep put away until you're about to use them. Boil sauces, if you're going to reuse them, and leftovers. Don't add fresh food into leftovers. If you have a pasta salad you made and you want to stretch it with a little bit of extra pasta you had boiled earlier, don't mix them. Find something else creative to do if you're trying to stretch out a meal with that other pasta. Even if you just stick some butter, garlic, lemon juice, salt and pepper, and call it that. It's still better than trying to mix it. You run a lot of risks with creating bacteria and foodborne illnesses when you do that. The last but not least, and we're almost out of time, is cleaning and sanitation. If you're using a dishwasher, real simple. Always scrape and rinse your dishes. Use a sanitizer, bleach or vinegar. Both work really good. Both used modestly. Manual dishwashing. Some people just stick dishes into a dishwasher that haven't been rinsed, and they'll end up with this really filthy dishwater, and it's just so disgusting. If you want to keep the life of that dishwater longer and have a real sanitary cleaning process, rinse your dishes first over top the garbage disposal, put them to the side, and then wash them. Keep your dishwater real clean. You know, that's always the goal. Rinse them and then air dry them. Never towel dry. Towels should be used around your kitchen for moving pots and pans, not drying your dishes. They are items that can carry foodborne illnesses and ruin everything you worked so hard for. And that ends our episode today of sanitation. Again, thank you for listening. It's important to keep a clean kitchen because you'll see that's how you're going to run an efficient kitchen. Until next time, I'm Bradley Guerrero-Neri. Have a great day.